Good morning students. This video is for class 4 science and today we will continue with the same, that is adaptation in animal. In the last class I have explained you all what does adaptation means. Why do we need to adapt? Now we will read about different adaptation in animals. In different habitat means different places needs different adaptation to be made so that animals, tree, plants, human being they can survive. So let us read about adaptation of terrestrial animal, means adaptation of land animal. What do they adapt? What do they adjust themselves so that they can survive in that particular area? Based on different habitats, animal can be grouped as terrestrial, aquatic, amphibian, and aerial. Let us read about the adaptation in terrestrial animals. Terrestrial animals are the animals that live on land. Dogs, horses, camels, and lions are some terrestrial animals. Adaptation in these animals also differ from region to region. They have the following features. So what are the adaptation? What are the changes that they make so that they can survive on the place where they live, where they survive, stay? Terrestrial animals have well developed body and sense organ which enable them to sense changes in the surrounding. So terrestrial animal have that sense organ. Their body is made in such a way that they have sense organs so that they can feel the changes, they can sense the changes that takes place around their surroundings. Next, most of them have 4 legs which help them to walk, jump, run, move on land, hunt and protect themselves. So most of the terrestrial animals have 4 legs so that they can walk, they can jump, they can protect themselves, they can hunt their food for themselves, they can eat. On the other hand, some animals like snakes do not have legs. They possess scales on their body to crawl on land. But there are few other animals also which do not have legs. They move taking the support of their body. They crawl on the land. Next, some land animal lives on trees. They are called arboreal animals. Monkeys, tree snakes and squirrels are some example of such animals. There are some animals they live on trees. They have their body structure according to the place they need so that they can survive. They have sharp claws that help them to climb trees and hold. See, their body are adapted. The changes that you can see is they have sharp claws so that they can hold on to the trees and they can climb easily. Very often their tail also become adapted to hold the branches of trees while climbing. So see, they have a tail, long tail. What do they? Suppose if they fall off, they have the long tail, they can roll on the branches and they can protect themselves. So there are changes in the body of the animals or insects or some other things so that they can survive in that particular habitat. Next is animals living in desert have thick skin or thick outer covering on their body. This protects them from the heat of the sun. Now animals that live on the desert is a very hot area, so they have very thick skin so that the outer heat cannot affect the body, cannot affect the animals. So that is why they have very thick skins to protect themselves from the heat. And this thick skin also protects in which way? They help not to lose excess water due to the heat of the sun. Some desert animals like camels store fat in their hump to survive scarcity of food and water for a long time. If you have seen camel, they have a hump on it. On the body, they have a hump on the body. This hump. In this hump, they store food. They store food here, they store water here, and the stored food and water is used when there is a scarcity, when there is no water, when there is no food. At that time, these animals use that stored food and fat for their survival. They have capacity to drink lot of water at one time and survive without water for many months. So they can drink water in large quantity and can survive and can live without dying without drinking water for a very long time. They also have broad, flat leather pads at the bottom of their hooves that prevent their feet from sinking into the sand. So their foot is not pointed. they have flat like this, so that when they put the leg on the sand, it does not go inside the sand. If you put a pointed thing, it will go inside. If suppose if you take a needle, it will go inside the sand. But if you take a flat surface object, it is not going to go inside easily. Some animals like snail and lizard sleep during the hot hours of daytime and protect themselves from heat. This is called summer sleep, or as Steve was saying, there are some animals which sleep in the daytime so that they can protect themselves from the heat of the sun. This is also known as summer sleep. There are some animals which live in the colder region, cold area. What adaptation, what changes can you see in the body of those animals? Let us see. Animals living in polar region like yak and polar bears have thick fur on their body to keep them warm. Other polar animals like penguin and seal, so they have very thick fur on the hair. They have very thick hair so that the coldness cannot affect the body of the animal. There are few animals which have very thick layer of fat. That means they have very thick layer of fat which helps the body from the cold weather. Other polar animals like penguins and seal have a thick layer, as I have told you, of fat under their skin called blubber to keep them warm. They depend on their fats for energy in winter. Some animals like bears, snakes and ground squirrel become inactive and sleep during the cold weather to protect themselves from cold. This is known. So there are some animals, as in the desert, there are some animals which sleep in the daytime. In the daytime, there are some animals in the colder region also. They sleep in the cold winter cold region so that they can protect themselves from the cold weather. This is known as winter sleep or hibernation. There are some animals which can change their color according to the environment so that they can protect themselves from enemies. This is known as camouflage. This is also one kind of adaptation that is made by the animal. Body color of some animals like zebra, polar bear and chameleon blend with their surroundings to save themselves from their enemies. This is known as camouflaging. That means the changing of the color to protect themselves from enemies is known as camouflaging. Some animals like porcupines have sharp spine to protect themselves from enemies. So you can see there are different animals have different kind of adaptation, different kind of changes in their body so that they can protect themselves, so that they can survive themselves, so that they can survive by making the following changes. Suppose if you see porcupine, if they wouldn't have this spine, anybody would have caught them and killed them. So this is to protect themselves. They have adapted themselves. They have this change of have spines. So if you go to catch, they will have spines and they will poke you, and you will not be able to catch them. That is why these are the changes that animals make within themselves so that they can be protected from enemies. So children, I hope you have understood here. For today we will keep it till here. In the next class we will continue with the remaining adaptation. So children, for today up to this much. Thank you class.